As a first-class passenger, I felt privileged to experience its opulence. The ship's interiors were decorated with fine wood work, intricate tapestries, and sparkling chandeliers. Everywhere I turned, there was a sense of grandeur and refinement. As the evening began, I prepared for dinner in the lavish first-class dining saloon. It was a black tie affair, and everyone dressed in their finest attire. The room buzzed with conversations, the clinking of silverware, and the soft strains of the ship's orchestra playing in the background. The meal was delicious, with multiple courses prepared by world-class chefs. We dined on oysters, salmon, filet mignon, lamb, and various delicacies, all paired with fine wines. The service was impeccable, and the company was delightful. I conversed with fellow passengers about our lives, our travels, and our admiration for this magnificent ship. After dinner, I took a leisurely stroll on the deck. The night was clear and crisp, and the stars shone brightly in the sky. The ocean was calm, and the ship glided smoothly through the water. I remember feeling a sense of peace and contentment, enjoying the cool sea breeze and the sound of the waves gently lapping against the hull. Many passengers were out on deck, enjoying the evening air. Some were engaged in lively conversations, while others, like me, were lost in thought, marveling at the vastness of the ocean and the beauty of the night. Before retiring to my cabin, I decided to visit the grand staircase, the heart of the ship's opulent interior. It was a sight to behold, with its elegant wrought iron and glass dome, and the majestic clock at the landing. Passengers were moved up and down the staircase, with their laughter, their chatter, echoing in the grand space. I paused to take in the scene, feeling a sense of awe at the sheer luxury and craftsmanship of the Titanic. It was a moment of quiet reflection, standing there amid the splendor, unaware of the tragedy that lay ahead. As I returned to my cabin, I noticed a slight chill in the air, but thought nothing of it. I prepared for bed, feeling tired but content after a delightful evening. The gentle rocking of the ship soon lulled me into a peaceful sleep. It wasn't long before I was abruptly awakened by a jolt. At first I dismissed it as the ship navigating a rough patch of sea, but then the sounds of commotion and hurried footsteps was. I quickly dressed and stepped out of my cabin to find what was happening. Crew members were moving swiftly, and there was a bit of growing sense of urgency. As I made my way to the deck, the cold night air bit into my skin. The realization slowly dawned on me that something was terribly wrong. The Titanic had struck an iceberg, and the reality of the situation began to sink in. Panic spread among the passengers as lifeboats were lowered and women and children were ushered to safety. The once vibrant and elegant ship had become a scene of chaos and fear. Standing on the deck, I watched in disbelief as the Titanic, the unsinkable ship, began to tilt and sink into the freezing Atlantic Ocean. The stars that had seemed so serene earlier now watched over a night of tragedy and despair. As I was helped into a lifeboat, I looked back at the ship and its grand lights still shining, reflecting off the icy water.